When I graduated from high school, which is equivalent to year 13, I took a gap year and did further maths for fun. The other day, my friend was making a sarcastic comment about it, and I thought to myself, I was like,
wait a second.
I actually do study when I'm bored. I know that sounds a little insane, and I know that every time I say, oh, I love maths, or I did further maths, blah, 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 they're always gonna sprint in the opposite direction and be like, are you okay? But for me, doing further maths was basically like doing like a secret code that I had to like decipher, and it's actually really satisfying. In that moment, it hit me. I totally understand what Elle Woods was saying, her famous slogan, which is, what? Like it's hard? Honestly, that got me through engineering. It got me through further maths. It got me through A-levels. It was my main mindset that got me from an E to an A star. And that's when it hit me. If I can do this, I'm unstoppable. I can literally do anything. Now, I feel like I need to give you guys a bit of a context for this. The reason why I'm so proud of doing further maths, other than the fact that, further maths is known to be quite difficult, is also the fact that I used to fail maths every single year. There was never a single year in my entire life where I was good at maths. I was horrible at mental maths. I just didn't understand maths at all until one day I did. I honestly don't even know what it is. I think I just started romanticizing it like I'm about to tell you right now. And all of a sudden, I absolutely love math. Now that we've brought up Elle Woods, we have to dive in deeper into her mindset. Because honestly, I think she's one of pop culture's best academic inspiration. Elle Woods, to me, is the epitome of not limiting yourself. She knows that she is good in the fashion degree, but she still wanted to go ahead and do a law degree anyways. And nothing stopped her from even going into that. She didn't even have a backup university. She only had Harvard University in her sights, and she got it. She didn't let stereotypes box her in. She never listened to stereotypes. She was known to be the blonde, dumb girl, but she became the smartest girl there, and she even ended up becoming valedictorian. Now, I think I've cracked the code to Elle's success, and I think it's because of her pure curiosity. She approaches everything with an open mind and a willingness to have fun in what she's doing. She's willing to learn, she's willing to put effort into whatever it is that she's doing, and she genuinely believes that she can do it. And that's something that not everyone has. She never looks at a challenge in its eyes and think, I think that's a little bit too difficult for me. She's never once said that. She has the confidence to say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out and do it anyway. She's willing to admit when she doesn't know what she's doing and seek out for help without any shame of it. Something that a lot of us really struggle with, especially me. It's so difficult for me at the start to reach out for help from my professors, from my teachers, from my friends. It's really embarrassing to admit that you don't know anything, especially if it's a really simple mathematical equation, for example. But when I realized that they're actually there to help me, they're there to see me grow, they want me to do better. When I realized all of that, that is when I had the confidence to go up to my teachers to ask them for help. It is not about being naturally good at something. It is about having the audacity to go for it even when you're bad at it. Elle Woods knows that the key to learning is curiosity, and guess what? The mindset is everything. Everything's possible when you have the right mindset. When you take the pressure off of becoming perfect and instead focus on curiosity, creativity, you actually will excel so much more and so much faster as well. I think the main reason why I really love further maths and actually ended up forming a deep love towards mathematics is purely because I was not rushed. I did this during my gap year. There wasn't an exam looming over me. Like, I pretended there was going to be an exam. I did pass papers as if I was going to do the exam, etc., etc. But I didn't really feel that pressure to be perfect. I didn't have that pressure to get an A star every single time. I think because I took the perfection out of it and instead put in my curiosity and my willingness to just learn the subject, it actually helped me to understand maths in a whole deeper level. And you would think that like, oh, she did further maths for nothing. Like, it's so useless. Why did she do it just for fun? To be honest, it actually ended up helping me in the long run because I did a degree in chemical engineering. I've just graduated with my master's degree recently, and I got a first class degree, which is equivalent to a summa cum laude. And throughout my entire degree, I had maths modules, right? Not a single one of my maths modules did I ever have to study for. Never in my entire academic career in university did I need to study for a maths exam. And I still got 98.3%, highest out of 1,000 students. Isn't that mind-blowing? Remember, I was someone who did not know how to do mental maths, or I didn't even know how to do normal calculations like addition, subtraction. It was so difficult for me. It took me so long. And all of a sudden, I became a top student who gets 98.3% in their engineering maths. I think that's impressive. I don't know. I think it's impressive. I think that's the thing about enjoyable activities. They don't feel like a chore. I think to a lot of people, studying feels so annoying. It feels like a chore. And one of the things that I do in order to prevent studying to feel like a chore to me is to prioritize my social life, prioritize everything else, and fit my studying around that schedule. I always prioritize spending time with my family, spending time with my friends, and then my studies will go in between that. Maybe I'm listening to a podcast on the way to our event or something like that. Even the most boring subject, I always find ways in order to make it fun. One of the things that I do when I find a difficult subject or a difficult topic that I'm learning and I don't have the motivation to go forward with it, I always try to think of a way to link it to something I've already learned before. But by doing this, it feels like you're a detective connecting the dots in between whatever it is that you're studying, and it just becomes more fun. I also watch YouTube videos like Course Gazette, infographics, whatever it is, in order to keep me informed of other things other than the things that I'm studying, and it honestly just keeps me curious about everything. I think people struggle to wrap their heads around the idea that someone would go willingly through something tough for fun, while other people would not want to do that usually. And honestly, sometimes it really is just about finding the joy in the process itself. For me, as an engineering student, maths isn't a subject. It's actually a tool. It's a tool that lets us do everything. It's not just something that gives me a grade and allows me to get a summa cum laude. It is the key to solving real-world problems, whether in the statistical sense, the mechanical sense, the pure sense, whatever it is, they all involve maths. And that's when maths became less of a boring thing for me, but instead became a tool for creation. It felt like I was inventing something whenever I'm doing maths. Now, anyone can find studying fun. It is not about talent, it's all about work and tricking your mind. Finding studying fun is not something that you're born with. It's not a special talent. It's not even about being naturally good at something. I know that a lot of my friends end up doing like really hard degrees just because they know they can do it, but they ended up absolutely hating the degree and then not doing anything about it. And I think this is why people who struggled a lot in the past will always find ways to do better in life, because the fun isn't in the comfort. The fun isn't being in your comfort zone. The fun is when you need to put in effort. The fun is figuring things out with your own mind. The fun is there when you realize that you can actually do everything you put your mind into. Think of a game that you recently played. At the start, you're really bad at it. You don't know the controls. You're still getting used to it. You don't know what you're doing. But over time, you start to get better and better and better. Then all of a sudden, you become a professional in this game. You become one of the best players in this game. And when you are playing this game, it's really fun to get better at it because you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the time. You're having fun as you are playing. Why is studying any different? It is the exact same. When you first start studying, you're still figuring things out. You don't really know how to study effectively, efficiently, and then over time, you get better and better at it. And then you realize that actually, studying is pretty fun. Here's how to trick your brain into actually enjoying it. It's all about the psychology of your mind. Firstly, you want to gamify it. You want to break your study sessions into levels or missions. So instead of saying, I'm going to finish this chapter, you want to turn it instead and say, I'm going to finish this section and then level up. Literally just gamify it and make yourself think that you're in a game, you're playing a video game. Number 2 is to always celebrate the small wins. Every time I solve an integral calculation, especially when it's really complicated, God, the amount of satisfactory feeling I get is actually insane. Just give yourself a pat in the back and that's it. Number 3, make it social. Me and my friends used to go for study group. You can compete with your friends in order to do this. Literally make it like a video game. Have a leaderboard if you want to. And last but not least, number 4, and this is my absolute favorite, it's to change your environment. Go outside, study in the park, romanticize it. Pretend as if you're in a movie and someone's like literally filming you studying. Listen to your favorite playlist, listen to classical music, feel like you're in Bridgerton, whatever it is that it takes in order to make you feel like studying is fun, do it. Now I'm serious, studying doesn't have to be a drag. Your brain understands only what you tell it to understand. Therefore, you can absolutely trick your brain into thinking that studying is fun. So why don't you give it a shot? Turn something that's really tedious for you and turn it into something fun. And see how it feels to level up the skills that you already have. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any specific questions about further maths, do let me know. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like it and share it with your friends so that you guys can do this together. See you in the next one. Bye!